crows are highly intelligent animals capable of solving complex problems. They've been observed using tools in the wild, and they can even recognize themselves in the mirror. But what many people don't realize is that crows are also excellent at planning for the future. Recent research has revealed surprising new insights into the intelligence of crows, challenging our understanding of their cognitive abilities. In this episode, we will explore the fascinating findings of a study published in the journal Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society B. The study revealed that New Caledonian crows are capable of solving complex tasks involving multiple steps, which has led to questions about the nature of intelligence in birds and the evolution of cognitive abilities. So let's dive in and discover what makes these crows such brilliant problem solvers. Before we can answer the question of how smart crows are, we first need to establish a baseline. How smart are they? Well, very smart, it turns out. One study found that New Caledonian crows were able to use hooked sticks to extract grubs from tree buttresses in the wild. Alex Rendell and his colleagues documented 47 wild crows using sticks to forage over a period of 2 months, with some individuals consistently using sticks more than others. Rendell, 2009. But that was not the end of the story. Another study published by Alexis Reading and his colleagues further investigated the use of sticks among New Caledonian crows. Their study showed that crows could be taught to use sticks to obtain food rewards even if those sticks did not naturally occur in their environment. And get this, the crows would bend the stick to suit their needs, making it even more effective for extracting food. They tested various stick lengths, and the crows preferred shorter, stiffer sticks for reaching into narrow tubes to retrieve food. They even showed a preference for certain twig diameters and would select thinner twigs when given a choice. Rendell et al., 2015. Now, that's pretty impressive, but it gets better. These birds are known for their ability to plan ahead and can even anticipate the behavior of other animals. In one experiment, they learned to pull a rope to obtain food only when an observer was present. After observing the observer leaving the laboratory after pulling the rope, the crows changed their strategy and stopped pulling the rope until the observer returned. These birds can also count, sort of. A study published in the journal Science demonstrated that New Caledonian crows could discriminate between different quantities of objects and could even learn to assign Arabic numerals to specific quantities. Hunt, 2006. And it's not just numbers. They can also perform complex math calculations like addition and subtraction. Hunt, 2009. Finally, New Caledonian crows are adept at solving puzzles and have been shown to excel at tasks requiring problem-solving skills. In a study published in the journal Animal Cognition, researchers found that New Caledonian crows were able to solve a series of puzzles involving multiple steps, and were able to retain the knowledge required to solve these puzzles for months at a time. Arsberg, 2002. Okay, so now we know that crows are pretty darn smart. But what does the current research say about their problem-solving abilities? What we consider smart varies across species because intelligence is relative. So instead of asking whether crows are smart, we should ask how smart are they compared to other birds. To find out, a team of scientists decided to see how well New Caledonian crows could solve a complex problem that required them to plan ahead and anticipate future events. They wanted to see if the crows could use a tool to solve a problem in a way that had never occurred to the scientists. And boy, did they deliver. The scientists designed an experiment where the crows were presented with 2 containers, one with food and one without. The container with food was initially inaccessible, but the crows were given a tool that they could use to move the container and gain access to the food. However, the crows had to plan ahead because they could only use the tool if they moved the empty container away first. This meant that the crows had to think several steps ahead in order to solve the problem. And guess what? They did it. The crows were able to use the tool to solve the problem, which was something that the scientists did not expect. They didn't teach the crows to do this. It just sort of happened. They figured it out all on their own. But that's not all. The scientists also tested whether the crows could transfer their knowledge of the task to a new situation. They changed the setup slightly, and the crows were still able to apply their knowledge and solve the new problem. This demonstrates the crows' ability to generalize their knowledge, which is another sign of intelligence. In total, 17 out of 21 crows were able to figure out how to solve the problem and use the tool effectively. But the success rate varied depending on the individual crow. Some crows were quick learners, while others struggled with the task. Additionally, younger crows were more successful than older crows, suggesting that crows may become less flexible as they age. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The scientists also conducted experiments to determine whether the crow's intelligence was limited to the task or whether they could apply their knowledge to other situations. They gave the crows a range of other tasks to solve and found that the crows were able to apply their knowledge and solve them too. For example, the crows were able to figure out how to open a box that could be opened from the inside, and they could even figure out how to open a box that had a locking mechanism. But perhaps even more impressive is that the crows were also able to solve a task that required them to plan ahead and anticipate future events. This is similar to the task that they had already solved. But this new task was more difficult and required the crows to think more deeply about the consequences of their actions. Again, the crows rose to the challenge and were able to solve the task. These findings suggest that the crow's intelligence is not limited to a specific task, but rather they are capable of applying their knowledge and skills to a variety of situations. So, what does all this mean? Well, first off, it means that crows are seriously smart. They can plan ahead, solve complex problems, and even use tools. Not only that, but their intelligence is not limited to a specific task. Instead, they can apply their knowledge and skills to a variety of situations. But perhaps even more exciting is that these findings suggest that the crows may be capable of even more complex behaviors than we have previously thought. By studying the crows, scientists hope to learn more about the evolution of intelligence and the cognitive abilities of animals. Who knows? Maybe one day we will find that crows are even smarter than we ever imagined. These findings challenge the traditional view of birds as simple creatures with limited cognitive abilities and highlight the need for further research into the intelligence of animals. There is still much that we don't understand about the intelligence of crows and other birds, and there is a lot to be learned from these amazing creatures. Keep up with the latest scientific discoveries and technological advancements. That's all for this video. Do you think crows are actually more intelligent than we thought? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more science videos. Thank you for watching.